Thomas Pocklington Trust. New Tech Hands-On. In February 2022, Samsung held their Unpacked event. Part of this event saw the release of the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra mobile phone. This device is unique because in many ways it brings together the S and Note series of devices that we saw previously. Coming in at a price of £1,149, it's not a cheap phone. However, Samsung brought to the table some really interesting accessibility features with this device, largely driven through the S Pen experience. In this video, we want to be able to show you what those experiences are and how they are interesting for visually impaired people. I'm Peter Hayton, and together, let's unpack the Galaxy S22 Ultra. So the first of these devices that we got from the event was the phones, and they're probably the most widely talked about. The first thing we got was the Galaxy S22 and S22 Plus. Now, these devices are relatively incremental when we talk about the difference between the previous S21 and this year's S22. However, they do bring some intriguing software benefits, which we're going to get into. And the reason they're of particular interest is because they do start at a lower price. So here in the UK, the S22 begins at a price point of £649. So the Galaxy S22 Ultra is a device which features a very Galaxy Note style design. And in many ways, it was designed to reincarnate the Note family, but under a different brand name. And that means that we have features such as the S Pen, featured in the bottom of the display, inside of a silo in the left-hand side of the phone, just like how it always was. And as you come up around the side of the device, you have nice smooth rails made of a stainless steel. And in the hand, it has a really chunky but solid feel, which is really quite reassuring, especially when you compare some of the more slippery devices that you find on the market these days. Has a nice smooth top with the buttons and SIM tray down the right hand side, including volume buttons and a power button above each other. Now, on the back of the device, you have a nice frosted glass finish with the cameras centered into the back of the design there. So there is the different cameras coming out of the back of the design, and it's relatively subjective. I guess you can decide whether it's something you like or you don't. But anyway, enough about design. What we want to talk about is the ways in which these devices are interesting for accessibility. So the first thing with the Galaxy S22 Ultra has to do with that S Pen. So when you're using the S Pen, you're able to actually interact with talkback in a whole new way. Normally, you would interact with talkback by scrolling your finger around on the screen, and you would get to select an item using Explore by Touch or by swiping. And when you found it, you would double tap to make that selection. However, with the S Pen, there's an intriguing new possible way to interact. We have this ability to hover the S Pen over the display and actually move the talkback cursor. And what some of you may be able to see is that we have the icons are actually moving beneath the S Pen. And then when you tap an icon, it just clicks. There's no need to double tap, and none of that extra work that you normally would have to do. So this could be much quicker and quite a time saver once you get used to it. Additionally, you can scroll just with a single swipe of the S Pen. And while we're on the subject of talkback, it's important to note that Samsung's voice engine is quite different to that you'll find in most Android devices. Because of the Bixby Assistant, we have Samsung's own text-to-speech engine, and it's quite a bit clearer. I'll let you hear a little sample of it now as we navigate the interface on the S22 Ultra.
Contacts, settings, calendar, setting, contact, clock, calculator, double tap to activate, double tap and hold to long press calculator, 2, 3, plus, equal, 2, 5, 5.
Aside from just talking about the talkback features, we also want to discuss how there are visibility enhancements for those of you using the device with low vision. One of the things I found with this device was that Samsung have created a new visibility enhancements feature inside of the accessibility menu. What does this do? It means when you go underneath talkback, all of the visual enhancement settings have been collated into a single view without cluttering up the rest of the interface. This should make it much easier to find what you're looking for. Additionally, they've created a set list of preset options to help get you going, one of which is large display. Now, this is really interesting because it might be all that you need, or in other cases, it might just be what you need to get you started looking for the other options. And those options, they're all still there. Don't worry about them. If you scroll down to the bottom of the menu, you will find the text size and font size options that you're used to scale the display and the text according to your needs. Another thing you might be interested to know about is the extra brightness feature that's included on these devices. The Galaxy S22 Ultra has a display that can power up to 1750 nits. That's bright, even for a modern smartphone. So what we can do is we can use that in situations such as bright sunlight to be able to get the most vivid colours and most clear contrast that you could possibly get from these screens. But also, if you have an eye condition that might benefit from being able to see these extra contrasting elements whilst indoors, it's possible to enable the extra brightness mode and then turn the display brightness down whilst you're indoors. So, all in all, these offer up a really intriguing set of devices here. And a lot of what I've talked about is available on the standard S22 and S22 Plus. But if you really think that the S Pen could be useful, or you want to make sure that you have the brightest display, or even use some of those cameras, we have a 108 megapixel sensor on the S22 Ultra and a 10x optical zoom camera, and does beat the 3x camera that is the maximum you can achieve on the S22. Which, for trying to zoom into a situation that's further away, really provides a lot of opportunity. So there we have it. The S22 is really quite a comprehensive lineup, and I can't wait to see how it impacts on the world of accessibility. So this wraps up our hands-on coverage of the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. And there are other features, such as the ability to use the S Pen as a hovering magnifying glass, that I didn't even have a chance to cover in this video. Do go ahead and check out our other video covering the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra that was also announced as part of this event. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that this video has been able to help show you how accessibility features of mainstream technology really are making a difference in the day-to-day lives of visually impaired people.